Got 1 minute.
He gets refertilized every year.
They gotta be here yawning for breed or something.
We
got a bitch he need.
and I don't let him shoot.
Well, y'all getting ready to crank up with them coffee?
It better be heavy.
Yeah.
It better be heavy. So they only be 200 plus pounds.
Oh,
They
yeah.
learn conservation.
Sometimes
4.5, 6.5, 7.5 years old shoot. He's 3.5 when he shoot.
Did you get the results?
Yeah, so it was
Non-malignant?
yeah, it was a malignant.
Thank God.
No carcinoma.
I've been saying some prayers for you.
Thank you.
We figured him at 9.5 years old.
Glad to hear.
They
Glad
have
to
the
hear.
pictures of it since 2017.
System, internet, the system.
Well, he might have been
Waiting
10.
system to come up.
Our first picture of him in 2017, we figured him at 2. 5:30.
I got plans on it. So it might not come up.
It's up there.
Maybe
Okay.
1 or 2 minutes.
Let's go. At this time, I'd like to call the meeting in order for the West Baton Rouge Parish Council for January 22nd, 2026. If anyone has any electronic devices, I'd ask you to please silence them. For opening prayer, I'm going to ask Councilman Atlee Walker to lead us in the opening prayer, and afterward, Mr. Kirk Lane to lead us in the pledge.
Lord, I want to thank you for the men and women that are here this evening, Lord. It's truly a blessing to be here. Our prayer tonight, Lord, is that our faith remain in your finished work at the cross, Lord. Lord, I pray that your Holy Spirit move in our lives, Lord. I ask that you bless our families and bless all of the residents here in West Baton Rouge Parish. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Atlee. Thank you, Kirk. Council log in attendance.
got us looking nice right here.
Good, Michelle.
Like that.
May the record show we have a quorum. Moving item 5, minutes approval. A, approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of January 8th, 2026. If everyone's had a chance to look over those minutes, I have a motion by Mr. Crowe, second by Mr. Gordon to approve. I'm going to open the machines and vote approval for the minutes. Minutes are approved. Moving to item 6, consider any amendments to the agenda, and we have none. Item 7, State of the Parish Report. Mr. Jason Manoa.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman and council members. Again, this is going to be the state of the parish for 2025, which I'll give to the secretary after I give the parish president's state of the parish meeting. Mr. Chairman, council members, and citizens of West Baton Rouge Parish, it is my privilege to report to you that the major accomplishments and financial position of West Baton Rouge Parish for 2025. West Baton Rouge Parish has continued to prosper and remain financially healthy, with sales tax revenues coming in right around budgeted amount of $10.2 million for the general fund. Operating expenses came in right at the total budgeted amount when all funds are accounted for. The fund balances across all funds remain healthy, despite the approximately $9.1 million in one-time capital expenditures spent in 2025. These fund balances will, as always, be evaluated yearly. The general fund balance increased by $4.57 million, adding crucial funding for the parish to be able to continually be aggressive in pursuing state projects and grants, which we have match requirements. We were able to fully fund the road rehabilitations and road construction programs of $1,661,090 through our video poker fund in 2025, without having to subsidize it through the general fund. Working with the council, we also rolled back 5.75 mills for the tax year 2025, for a savings of approximately $4.5 million for the taxpayers of West Baton Rouge Parish. West Baton Rouge Parish continues to leverage grant dollars to complete projects within the parish. Within the last few years, West Baton Rouge Parish has been awarded approximately $37.3 million in grant and state match funding. In 2025 alone, approximately $3 million of grant dollars were spent, with the bulk of our grant dollars to be spent in the next few years. The parish also completed some upgrades to parish-owned buildings, including renovations to the Parish Health Unit of $168,000, renovations to the courthouse of $104,000, and a new greenhouse for our 4-H department at $13,500. The parish was also able to complete upgrades to its community centers totaling $534,000, as well as a total demo and reconstruction of the new William and Lee Pool for $238,000. The year 2025 was a monumental year for the residents of West Baton Rouge and our fire department. As well, not only achieving a Class 3 rating parish-wide, potentially lower homeowners insurance rates for our residents, but also when fully operational with our ambulance service. This service has improved response times, giving our residents life-saving care at zero out-of-pocket costs for their transport. I can happily report that our revenue from this service for 2025 came in at $1,378,326, $128,000 above our budgeted amount and on an immature collections year. This critical funding has allowed our parish government and fire departments to hire additional firemen and provide an overall better level of care without having to ask the citizens of West Baton Rouge Parish for additional funding, something we are very proud of. The accomplishments and the strong financial position at the end of 2025 would not be possible without the continued support of our citizens and the tireless efforts of our employees and the vital leadership and decision-making of our council and administration. Our team looks forward to continuing to govern with fiscal responsibility and accountability as we continue to move our parish forward. We look forward to working with our council members in 2026 as we continue to serve the people of West Baton Rouge Parish. We remain committed to improving and preserving the quality of life and also the sense of pride in West Baton Rouge Parish. Sincerely, Jason Manola, West Baton Rouge Parish President. And I'm going to give Michelle the copy of this statement.
Great.
And I'm glad to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you, Jason.
Thank you, sir.
Good report.
Good year.
Only one other thing I want to report, guys, I just want to let y'all know is that we're continuing to monitor the weather. We actually had a 9 o'clock conference call this morning. We'll have another one tomorrow. Any information that we need to put out, we'll be sharing through our social media and through our local news media, but making sure that, you know, our residents stay informed. But the only thing I can tell you, in a winter weather event like this, they're the hardest to predict, so it could change at any given time. So, but we'll continue to monitor it, and Dino and his staff do an excellent job of making sure that we keep our citizens well informed. So, any other questions? I'll be glad to answer.
Council?
All right.
All good?
Thank y'all.
Thank you, Jason. Appreciate it. Okay, moving to item 8, public comments. Anyone from the public? These are general public comments. Anyone from the public have anything they'd like to say? Yes, sir. Come on up. State your name for the record.
My name's Anthony Summers, asking a question as a citizen of West Baton Rouge Parish. Is the information that Mr. Manola said about the ambulance service something that can be publicly shared on the website that can basically break down income levels, call times, statistics, things like that? Because, you know, we hear a lot of, we're doing this, but show me. Yeah, I'm a taxpayer, so I'd like to see where the money's coming from and what the actual times are, instead of having somebody come up here and speak and saying, we're doing this, but we can't back it up with documentation. Anyway, thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you for your comments. Anyone else from the public? If we have no one else, we're going to move forward. Moving to item 9, communications with council members and or elected or appointed officials. Philip, you got something?
Right, I handed you out earlier, haven't done this since November, so I wanted to do a little catch up on this, just what we've got going on around the parish for the roads and the drainage department. I'm just gonna go over a few of the items. You can read the rest of it at your leisure. In the roads department, they've dug along Flynn Road, American Way and Section Road. They've dug ditches on both sides of Plantation Avenue and Southern Pacific. They've cleaned up the tree line on Section Road and did some digging along Section Road also. In the drainage department, dug Silverstone ditch along the service road going south. Phillips Canal across from Walmart. Dug ditches along the River Road by Old Duval School. Montrachet East Ditch, Malata Bend Ditch, Sinclair Ditch across from Bruley High School, dug ditches along Rosedale Road from, going away from Montrachet. And they dug a ditch along the railroad tracks for, near South Riverview. And again, there's other items in this list, but I'll let you go through that on your own, and I can answer any questions if you have anything on this list.
Council, y'all got any other questions? Phil, while he's up? I think we're good.
Thank you, Phil.
Go ahead there, Mr. Chance. Thank you, Phil.
Thank you, Philip.
All right, so Jason kind of went over the state of the parish in 2025 real quick. I'm gonna wrap up 2025 financials. Nothing you haven't already seen in the 12 others that I've done for each month, and what you haven't seen what you've seen in the budget meetings as we projected it through the end of the year. So obviously your goal, 12 months, will be 100%. We're running great. I'm on this page right here, general fund, as I always start with. Running great as far as revenue-wise. You're at 107.44% of the general fund from budget. I had mentioned in my last report where sales tax was going to finish. You see that reflected here at that 99.54% collected, so almost at the budget number that we expected. So again, you see it's a decline from last year, but as I've mentioned multiple times, we expected it, budgeted for it. Here you see it coming to fruition. So you see the difference from 24 to 2025, really sales tax heavy as far as the difference there. Turn the page to your expenses with the yellow at the top. Again, running great. You've seen this throughout the year. This is just the end of it. So your operating expenses running at 91.64%. So obviously under that 100%. So we're not over budget on our total operating expenses for the general fund. And then you'll see the totals down at the bottom that take into account your sinking fund, your capital outlay transfers, and everything. But really focusing on that operating expenses percentage. That's where you want to be running. The last page is the graph. All right, flipping to this page here, this is all our other major operating funds. Again, as you saw in November, everything's looking great. This is just wrapping it up, running at 107.63% of total budgeted revenues, so above budget, great for revenues. And on the flip side, down at the bottom, running at 94.42% for budgeted expenses, so under budget on your total expenses there. And then you can see some of the ones where your revenues came in below your expenses. Go look at what we budgeted. It's exactly what we budgeted. So we expected that. You spent your your fund balance on capital outlay. So nothing jumps out on the page here. All expected, all budgeted, and came in great. So that's all I have. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
All right. Thank you, Chance. Mr. Adrian Jones.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Council members, this is for informational purposes only. Some of you may or may not, I don't know how often you may look at the parish website, but if you do, if you have, earlier this week you saw a public notice on there, and I just want our council members to be aware, particularly Councilman Crowe and Ms. Andre there. We had a couple of water samples that came back from DHH for West Baton Rouge District 4, Section Road, Winterville. So that's the Irwinville area, Winterville, and that section pretty much north of Calumet Road, but south of Albroth Lane, that area. One sample came back in November, and two samples came back in December that were just below the 0.5 milligrams per liter in chlorine residual taken from various sample sites. So essentially what that means is the LDH requires that samples be 0.5 or higher in chlorine content that when samples are taken. Now the state pulls samples twice a month. We pull samples every day. The sample that was taken from the November pull from the state was at a sample tap, essentially all the way at the end of the line on Rosedale Road, almost to Iberville. So that's a pretty much a dead end line. It's real easy to get a low chlorine reading there, and they did, but we're just required by LDH to notify those residents of that water district. So it's posted on our website, and bills will go out. Our utility bills will go out Monday, and inside the utility bills will be an insert with all of the more detailed information of exactly what the public notice means. Just a couple of things on what it's not. It's no action is required by the public. It's no boil advisory. and no preventative action is required by residents at all. It's strictly a public notification rule that you have to let folks know about those samples. So again,
Okay.
they were just below the 0.5 reading. Again, we've tested since then, and we test every day, and again, there's no issues with the water at all. So just want to make you aware of that. If there's any questions.
Perfect.
Again, it's on the website, and the folks will see it, and all the information is there.
That's when the calls will start to come.
That's when the call.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yep.
See that? Oh yeah.
Thank you for that information.
Thank you.
Anyone else administration? Anyone else from administration? Yeah, I know, we gotta get her. I'm gonna get you, Melanie's next, but go ahead, Brandon.
I'll be quick because I got out of a 4:15 meeting an hour ago. That was 2.5 hours long, so a little tired of hearing about it anyway. The 30% revised submittal date was stated to be March 5th, obviously of this year. The DOTD project manager kind of told the design team that he would like a more aggressive target date for that, as I would as well. The other thing that they had mentioned was kind of kickstarting the environmental reevaluation. They already have an exhibit made. They just kind of need to make some fine-tuning tweaks to that to submit that and kind of start that process. And they had also mentioned that they were going to bring on a separate company for some public outreach. Essentially what they said was anybody within like a 1 mile radius of the corridor, the entire project would basically be notified. And then that there would maybe be just kind of some meeting to where if people have questions, they'll come in and they'll have exhibits up and kind of explain, you know, certain layouts. So just want to be real quick on that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Brandon. All right, moving to the sub-item on item 9, Annual Department of Revenue and Taxation Delinquent Sales Tax Report. Ms. Melanie Dovey.
Good afternoon. I'm not going to go into detail, but I just wanted to kind of encourage everybody to review it. And if you have any questions, comments, please reach out to me, not only about this, but just sales tax in general. My door is always open, so I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Melanie.
Thank you, Melanie.
All right, thank you, Melanie. Council members, y'all have anything you want to bring up at this time? Council members, good? All right, we're gonna move forward. Moving to item 10, public hearing on previously introduced ordinances. Item A, an ordinance to amend and reenact the West Baton Rouge Parish Code of Ordinance, Part 2, General Code of Ordinances, Chapter 70, Roads and Drainage, Section 70-5, Bridge Standards and Permitting. Let me just go ahead and say this is a public hearing. I'm gonna open up this public hearing at that time. Go ahead there, Brandon.
Yep, so this is our redone bridge standards. Essentially, it's 2 sections, -5 and 6. 5 is essentially the requirements and everything we would ask for future public roads, or if a road was to basically be donated to the parish to then be a public road, those kind of standards and whatnot that we would look for that. So, you know, if there is a regular subdivision that is coming in and we have to take it over once the, 1 year is over and all that, this would be the bridge standards for them to basically look at and follow for that. The second section, -6, is basically for the private residential subdivisions, basically our minor subdivisions, and if there's like a private subdivision where there's a gate and we're not, in charge of maintaining the road and drainage and everything in there, that basically separate qualifications for that. We give a minimum width for that bridge, railing on there, and then essentially just some design standards for basically, how much load that bridge should take, and then that it needs to be posted and everything, just because if it's a private bridge that the parish is not responsible for and there's maintenance by the property owners or whatever it may be, since we cannot maintain it, we would like it to be posted and basically, have that documentation of how it would be maintained and all that, just for record-keeping purposes. And we did have this go to planning and zoning, just because it does deal with our subdivision approval, and it got recommended for approval with a 7-0 vote from our P&Z on Tuesday.
Okay, thank you, Brandon.
Thank you, Brandon.
Again, this is a public hearing. Anyone from the public would like to speak on this item? You can come on up. Anyone from the public? I guess we have none. All right. At this time then, I'm gonna close the public hearing, open up discussion to the council. Council members, do you have anything you want to bring up?
I do have one question.
Go ahead, Ms. Catherine.
How does this apply, Brandon? Say if they have an existing bridge and then the family partition, you know, they end up making it a minor, do they have to come back and get the bridge stamped for approval?
I mean, yeah, if it was an existing family partition and they had a bridge, we would basically have to make them come up to current code. If it was an existing minor subdivision, you know, then everything was already approved and all that, that would be a grandfathered in sort of scenario. But, you know, just like how we would, if, you know, they need to put in an apron or they need to, you know, lay down
would be
limestone or
reevaluated.
whatever, we would make them, you know, come up to current standards if this obviously gets approved.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Mr. Walker.
Yeah, I was looking at the language here, and I was going through it today a little bit. In section 70-5, regarding the minimum bridge standards requirements and permitting for public or future public roadways, when you come down to section 3, you guys state all construction specifications for bridge construction must use LADOTD standards and specs for roads and bridges 2026. And that portion right after that, most recent version of their standards, I thought that that was good that you inserted that in so we wouldn't have to come back and do an amendment each time LADOTD goes in and maybe makes changes to their specifications. So I mean, I commend you guys for that. I don't know if Brady was working on that with you and the gentleman that sits on our planning and zoning,
I was
Brandon.
really just trying to limit how many times I have to come up here
Exactly.
and talk about this.
I was looking, I was reading through it, and when I saw that, I was like, that's perfect.
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention that, and I mean, I'm gonna support the measure.
Okay, good. All right, any other comments? Come down, Mr. Walker.
Yes, sir. You got it?
Okay,
Okay.
so currently have a motion by Mr. Crowe, second by Mr. Babin to approve this item, Mr. Crowe.
That's correct, yes.
All right, there's no other comments or discussion. I'm opening the machines to vote for approval. That motion passed. Moving to item B. An ordinance to amend and reenact sections 28-1, created purpose boundaries, and 28-4, narrative, description, and sub-districts of Article 1, West Baton Rouge Parish Fire Protection District Number 1 of Chapter 28, Fire Protection and Prevention, Part 2, Code of Ordinances of West Baton Rouge Parish Code of Ordinances to eliminate industrial areas of the fire district. So at this time, this is a public hearing. I'm gonna open up that public hearing at this time. If anyone from the public has any comments on this matter. Ms. Go ahead. John, you got something?
Yes, I have 6 questions. I appreciate if you
Can-
keep all your answers.
You can,
together.
let me ask you this. If you don't, you can ask your 6
Running out of
questions.
time. Could you pause my timer?
Yeah, we'll start your time over.
Thank you.
Butch is gonna come up and do a presentation on it. So if you, it may
I can-
answer you one of your questions or not.
Then I'll
And then
wait
you-
till after if you don't mind.
Appreciate it. Butch? Or whoever was gonna come up? Whoever. Okay, Jason,
I mean,
that's fine.
I'll just tell you guys that it's something we've been talking about and
Yeah,
working with our legal
Kristen
counsel
is there to
here.
comment if you need any.
Yeah, and, but I just want to assure you all that I actually had, and I told you this before, that I had conversations with the industrial, companies that were involved in this upfront, spoke with the plant managers of both and also their team, so they were well aware of the situation and got good feedback from them.
They're on board.
Yes.
Perfect. Butch?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I guess simply speaking, and we've been in a lot of research with this, and Ms. Canizaro's been a big help. You know, she reminded me that I wasn't an attorney and kept me in my lane. I appreciate that. Basically, in the late 80s, when a special design of what the fire district looked like back then were sub-districts. So the police jury at the time went to the legislature and said, create a Louisiana law that lets us have a special kind of a fire district and allows the sub-districts and all that. Well, shortly after that in the 90s is when the half-cent sales tax was passed. And when the half-cent sales tax was passed, it was a parish-wide vote. So everybody in the parish voted for it, and it was their intent that it would be collected parish-wide. Very similar to the jail tax. It's probably a good example. Yep. About 6 months after the tax was ratified, the police jury at that time created an industrial area, which at that time was known as the Dow property. So if you think Addis Lane south around to Highway 1148 to Dow, and then it skips over Dow, and it doesn't exempt that. It was basically the Dow property. It said they were in an industrial area, and they weren't part of the fire district, hence didn't have to pay the sales tax. Well, moving forward, there's been some, and the original expression of the state law said that the fire district and the sub-district was the entire parish back in the late 80s. That was the original expression. Well, when I guess in more modern times, when you all had the vision to consolidate the fire department and bring it together as one, we went back to the legislature. And that's what gave you all the power of being the fire board, not separate fire boards. It put everything under the control of the parish council. Well, that same expression of the law was kept to say that Fire District 1 is encompasses of the entire parish of West Baton Rouge with no exemption. So it really became more prevalent when you looked at this area that was not part of the district, but yet the state law said it should be. Well, and obviously there's a revenue deficiency that's occurring to the fire department for not getting that, but bigger than that, that property's grown. We now have residential properties, residents that live there. Well, when we got the Class 3 fire rating, guess what happened? When those people went to get their new fire rating, they were told, you're a Class 10. You're not in the fire district. Because the ordinance says, even though state law said that you are, the ordinance that the insurance industry uses saying it's not in the fire district. So that's kind of where we are today. Now the reality is we will, and we've always responded to those areas like it's ours, but truly it's part of the parish. So from the taxing standpoint, it brings about parity. Everyone else in the parish, whether you're an industrial area, whether you're commercial or residential, you pay that sales tax for that service. So that's the simple version of it. And you know, we believe that, you know, that deficiency has slighted our department in growing and replacing equipment and doing the things that we need to do. And to the parish president's point, it was a very long discussion with the people involved, and they were in agreement, you know, with the parity and obviously had no objections, or else we wouldn't be standing in front of you today. So I think I explained it right. Did I do good?
That was very well done.
Thank you.
Butch, any estimated financial impact?
I think that's a Chance question. Chance won't tell me how much more money.
He knows I'm tight. Based off of 2025 sales tax numbers, it'd be $503,000 additional. Yeah. So again, he said it correctly. Like the jail fund's a good comparison.
You said
$503,000. $503,000.
Gotcha. Okay.
Just to the fire department?
Yes.
Just going to the fire department?
Yes. Yeah.
So basically, Chance,
Right.
basically, if you look at the jail and you look at the fire district,
There currently is a $503,000 difference.
Gotcha.
This would bring them to
Perfect.
the same.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
So this is a public hearing.
Right.
Anyone from the public would like to speak on it? Go ahead there. State your name for the record.
John Summers, WBR resident. The ordinance cites RS 14-1503 as the authority. Can you clarify what statute you're relying on? This is multi-question, so please bear with me. 2, has the parish attorney reviewed this against RS 133.16, which prohibits including industrial areas in service districts? RS 1492 Charlie requires voter approval from electors and newly elected added territory before levying taxes there. How does the parish intend to satisfy this requirement? RS 13018 prohibits new taxes in industrial areas. How does this ordinance comply? And you already answered my question that you've already consulted with Dow and Shintex, so I can do that. And my next question, in April of 2025, Councilman Densel told the advocate there was no solution to the industrial exclusion and nothing we can do about it. The law is the law. So my question is, what has changed?
Well, at the time, I guess that was the law. That's all I can, at that time. So anyway, the rest of the questions, I'm gonna see if Ms. Canizera can address any of those. She's the one that actually did the research, so I'll let you ask her.
I'm not sure that I caught all of those questions at the speed that you were reading, but question number 1 was, which revised statute are you referencing under 1503? That's revised statute Title 40:1503, West Baton Rouge Parish Fire Protection District 1, creation, sub-districts, boards, powers, duties, and functions. Is that one?
That was, all right, the second one, have you reviewed it against RS 33-130-16?
I have not. I'm not sure what that is in reference to, but what I've reviewed it against was Title 40:1506, which was the special fire districts, the general law under fire districts versus the West Baton Rouge law.
Peanut gallery version of that. And it basically says the parish can only designate industrial areas if industries fail to provide services.
John, why don't you come
I'm not sure about
because to get you on record, yeah, there you go. Now, if you,
So that one states exactly, sorry, I lost my place. 1 second.
And can you read a little bit slower and pull the mic down some so we can hear you?
I'd be more than happy to.
Thank you.
Okay, so RS 33-130.16 prohibits including industrial areas to provide their own services, meaning their special fire brigades. So that's what the RS is?
So you're talking about special fire brigades in the industrial area
Yes.
already being provided?
Yes.
And what was your question?
I'm questioning, have
regards
you
to that?
reviewed it against that?
So, again, Title 40:1503 allows
Mm-hmm.
us to make an ordinance regarding levies and
Okay.
I'm not sure
I just wanted to clarify.
question.
Thank you.
But again, as you heard the fire chief say, we are responding in those industrial areas anyway. And what we're doing is creating an ordinance, which under the Home Rule Charter, we're allowed to utilize an ordinance to amend or repeal any ordinance previously adopted. And that is what I believe the
So
ordinance
does the
today.
Home Rule Charter override state law?
How do you want me to answer that?
Home rule charter can be more restrictive, not less restrictive than
Okay,
state
that's
law.
probably the simplest
Yep.
term for, yeah, I don't
All
wanna
right.
go too deep into legalese if I can avoid it.
No problem.
So yes, home rule charter can be more restrictive.
All right, so the next question, RS 1492 Charlie requires voter approval from electors in newly added territory before levying taxes. How does the parish intend to satisfy this requirement?
I'm not say it again?
Revised
I'm not understanding
statute,
your question.
yes. Revised statute 40:1492 Charlie requires voter approval from electors in newly added territory before levying taxes there. How does the parish intend to satisfy that requirement?
So that may be a parish question, but I don't, not a council question, but I don't believe that we're adding, we're simply maintaining that Title 40, Section 1503 indicates that the district is to be coterminous with the boundaries of the parish. We're not adding
But it's
anything, we're
already
just maintaining that it's within the parish, and we're trying to clear up the
So just to
language.
clarify, if it's already excluded and you're taking the exclusion away, then wouldn't that be adding?
The exclusion was created by an ordinance here, and the council has the ability to repeal that ordinance, canceling that exclusion.
Okay. Well, I'm
which has
just
been voted
citing the
on,
law and
which
I'm
has
just-
been,
I'm not sure if
which
I'm
has been
answering
voted
his
on,
question.
I'm just
It
saying
has
this, which has already been voted in by the people, by the public.
Correct.
Are you
The
talking
half
about
cent
the
sales tax.
The half-cent sales tax.
The tax,
The
right.
tax.
I don't, I think he's talking about the district, not
I'm
the
talking about
tax.
adding the exclusion, then you have a new area where you have new people there, so they would have to vote on it, would they not?
They
They
did
voted on the
vote.
half
They
cent
did
sales
vote on it.
tax.
They
So
did
were
vote
not
on it.
excluded.
Yes,
Okay,
correct.
well,
They did
I
vote
just
on it.
wanted,
Parish
I just want to
Ryan,
clarify.
Parish Ryan, yeah.
Thank you, I appreciate
That's
it.
fine.
And question number 4, RS 33-130-18 prohibits new taxes in industrial areas. You already cited on that, so I'm going to go ahead and let you off on that one. You have
Okay.
satisfied my requirements.
Let you off.
I'm not sure, I don't know if I'm
Well,
answering any
I
of
just
them
wanted to get some,
thoroughly.
I just wanted to get some clarification. Thank you.
Sure. So, we can definitely walk you through the timeline. It may clarify a little bit more, but we're not adding any new property within the district. We're simply maintaining the language that the district is coterminous with the boundaries of the parish, not dividing a sub-district with an exclusion of any specific area.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, and that's why I wanted some clarification to ask these questions.
Did I answer your question?
Yes, ma'am, you
Okay.
have answered them satisfactorily.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
And we're getting five.
Again, this is a public hearing. Anybody else from the public would like to speak on this item? If we have none, I'm gonna close the public hearing, open up discussion to the council.
Motion.
All right, no discussion? We're good?
No, sir.
So currently, I have a motion by Mr. Lane, second by Mr. Babin to approve.
Absolutely.
Mr. Lane, there's no other discussion. I'm gonna open the machines to vote for approval.
Can I vote twice?
The machine lets you out. That motion passed. Moving to item C, an ordinance to amend and reenact the West Baton Rouge Parish Code of Ordinance, Part 3, Unified Development Code, Chapter
Butch.
109, Property Maintenance, Article 5, Abandoned Vehicles and Junk, and reenact Section 109-4, Section 109-6, and Section 109-109. So this is a public hearing. I'm gonna open up that public hearing this time. Go ahead, Brad.
All right, we are adding a definition, oh man, too close. For inoperable vehicles, basically just giving ourselves a definition for what we can actually describe that as. If you keep going through the ordinance, when we get to this, section B of lines like 56 through 64, essentially saying that, if we have the, vehicles out there, basically what kind of fence requirements we would have, and then again, referencing the inoperable definition that we just added before. The next section basically just talks about, our offices, basically, what we need to do when this process comes through. And then as you just keep going further through, just kind of taking out some things about, having a request for a hearing and stuff like that. I did want to make one note, on line 76, where we have item 4, and it says provide for compliance within 15 days from services. I would like to recommend changing the 15 to 30, not from, we want to extend people's time for forever, but we give grass 15 days. So I figured moving, heavy equipment and vehicles and whatnot should probably be a longer timeline than our grass ordinance. So I would, recommend changing that 15 to 30. I know a lot of our,
I found another location of 15. Look at line item number 81.
81, I'm about to say the same thing.
I knew it was somewhere else in there, so we need to change that to
76 and 81.
if the owner or occupant of a premises or the owner of junk or abandoned vehicles abatement within 15-day period.
So say
Yeah.
30.
So yeah, then line 81, that 15 would also be 30.
Right.
Okay.
And again, just like I said, grass is 15 days. Our demos are from like 60 to 90, 120, depending on, the severity per se. So, just wanted to throw that out there.
Okay. All right, thank you for that.
Make a motion with the change it to 30. but-
This is a public hearing. Anyone from the public would like to comment on this item?
Nobody?
Anyone from the public? If I have none, I'm gonna close the public hearing, open up discussion to the council. I currently have motions on the floor. Have a motion by Mr. Lane, second by Mr. Joseph. Mr. Lane to approve
With the changes on line 76 and 81 to 30 days instead of 15.
that's right, changing from 15 to 30 days.
Yes, sir.
Exactly. Okay, I'm gonna open up machines, open them up for approval. That motion passed. Move into item 11 under new business. Item A, consider cost of living increase recommendation for parish employees.
Members of council, you'll have a recommendation letter in your packet, page 1 of this item. As it says there, so West Baton Rouge Parish Administration, based off of the Consumer Price Index, which is we get all online from the labor statistics, we're recommending a 2.7, it's based off inflation, 2.7% increase to the pay scale, as well as what we call a one-step increase, which is an additional 2%, very similar to last year. So it brings your total to a 4.7. If you read toward the bottom of that paragraph, I clarify, and I do this every year. So for the fire department, they'll get an immediate 2.7 just like everybody else, and then they'll get their 2% on their anniversary date that they always get. So they get 4.7 as well. It's just the structure is slightly different. But that is clarified in the recommendation letter. Fiscal note on this, so based off of our most recent pay period, project that out 26 pay periods, and then do that with the increase, you get roughly a $762,000 increase to the salary expense. So that would be the fiscal note on that. But I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have on it.
That's all
Yep.
included in their yearly budget when we do budget time? anyway?
Yeah, so we budgeted
Which we
5%.
budgeted in.
If you guys recall from the budget of 5, so slightly under the budget. But again, based off of the consumer price index, is what we feel comfortable doing right here.
Okay?
Yep.
Thank you there, Chance. All right. So I got some motions on the floor. Let me just, are there any other comments? Anybody have any public comments on this? All right, so I have a motion by Mr. Babin, second by Ms. Andre to approve, Mr. Babin? Correct. I'm gonna open up machines to vote for approval. That motion passed.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Chance. Moving to item B, approve annual sales tax percentage adjustments for 2026. Mr. Phillip.
Yeah, members of the council, we do this every year for the district tax. With the growth in Port Allen, I think was where we saw most of the growth at this year. We're going to be decreasing by 0.12%, or if you need to do a fiscal note on that, it's about $13,000 compared to last year. So we're going to we'll collect this year based on this percentage, $13,000 less than we did last year. And I'm asking for your approval.
Okay. So which one again do you use, Phillip? I'm sorry.
This is the district
Oh, I
tax.
see it, okay. Yep, I got you.
The other
Okay.
tax, the parish was done every 10 years.
Gotcha.
of the census.
Okay, so I got a motion by Mr. Lane, second by Mr. Gordon to approve, Mr. Lane.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna go ahead and open the machines, vote for approval. That motion passed. Thank you, Phillip. Moving to item 12, resolutions, we have none. Item 13, consider status report, change order, and/or other matters as required on current projects, and we have none. Item 14, introduction of ordinance. Mr. Michelle.
A, an ordinance to amend and reenact the West Baton Rouge Parish Code of Ordinances, Part 3, Unified Development Code, Chapter 105, Subdivisions, Article 1 in general, Section 105-7, minor subdivisions, to provide for clarification on minor subdivision regulations. Public hearing date February 26, 2026. Be an ordinance amending Chapter 104 zoning to incorporate amended zoning designation map, zoning plan under Section 104.3, establishment of districts, official zoning map for rezoning request of Woodrow Wilson Construction LLC, located at 3784 Metro Drive, Port Allen, Louisiana, 70767, file PJ number 26-0002, as described by the West Baton Rouge Assessor, site lot 25, Greater Baton Rouge Industrial Park, plat map 108A and tract FS-3A in section 76 and 101 T7SR12E 1.846 acres, 54C-11, 54C-118, CB-144, E-248, CB-300, E-96, CB-326, E-4, rezoning tract FS-3A, a .97 acre tract from agricultural to I-1 light industrial with light area waiver. Master plan change, public hearing date February 26, 2026.
Thank you, Michelle. Moving to item 15, consider subdivision plats, condemnations, waivers, and matters related thereto. We have none. Correspondence report. Michelle.
Sir, our correspondence is that we have a planning and zoning meeting Tuesday, February the 8th, and our next council meeting will be February the 12th, not the 26th.
Okay, thank you very much.
And we have Mr. Malone.
No, I just wanted to say before we adjourn, on behalf of all the employees of West Baton Rouge Parish, just want to thank the council for the 2.7 cost of living adjustment and the step increase. So on behalf of all the
No
employees,
problem
thank
at all.
you.
They do a great job. Thank you. All right, with that, Mr. Lane, you got it.
I got
We adjourn.
it.
Brady wasn't fighting you for it.
Got it.